can look to trade assets, and that's something that's very exciting that you can do now with having a second team.
It's so true. I cannot, like, there's so much that's going to happen this season. Like, we know franchising is there, but what are the teams going to do with it as well? Yeah, they're trying to build, but how will they change? It's going to be awesome. Into picks and bans here for Game 4 of the day. That one's Tom Kench. And we have a Zach and a Sejuani on that ban list to start things off.
Zach coming in with the first ban, a little bit of a surprise, but Shrimp, I believe, played that yesterday, had a decent performance overall. Might have killed Keen
just a few times,
once or twice, but it is
the synergy was too good.
Yeah, it's like, you want this guy, right? Let me bring him to you. But it is one of his signature champions in some sense from the LCS.
They just say neither Kog'Maw and Kench immediately. Thank you.
Might have watched that last game and been like, that doesn't look fun to try and beat in lane.
Usually one or the other, but
yeah.
I didn't want anything to do with it. Kalista goes out, so 80 carries. Jungler's getting a bit hit here in the first phase with a final here from FlyQuest Academy. And then Fox, his first pick.
Yeah, there's a lot of typical bans that we were seeing earlier in the day left up. You have Zoe. Looks like it might go over first here. Yeah, they're
awesome.
Very cool. You have Azir and Ezreal still up, two other champions that have seen a lot of priority. With the Jarvan ban coming in, Sejuani taken out, and the Zach, you're going to see pretty different junglers this time around. So this should be a pretty fun game to watch.
They all are.
That's true. Yeah. All games are fun.
What is the second one? No and Shrimp now to get their picks. It might just be a top lane Ornn coming back through. Doesn't have a full 100% win rate anymore here in the Academy League, but No's going to look to put a little better point on that percentage. Possibly just the support grab to not tell too much, and it will be the Braum.
Yep, you have the two of the premier bot lane and top lane tanks available to you. It frees up a lot of space in the rest of your team comp. You're bringing in a lot of magic damage. You're bringing in a lot of tankiness.
Can't block the ult now.
Yeah, can't block the ult. Also, they combo together very well. We saw it last game, though, even from behind the side of Golden Guardians, you're able to set up these really monster chain CC combos. And with those two taken, though, it does leave over a lot of potential power picks. You see the Ezreal locked in. They're not going to grab the Azir, I assume, unless this Zoe's going somewhere crazy.
No. That would be... I'm already thinking it's annoying dodging paddle stars and mystic shots. Now you have a crow bouncing around. I mean, he's hovering it. But just imagine being in that fight. You're trying to look at an opponent to shoot, and you're dodging 5 different things at the same time. It really makes things crazy. What will be the final pick here? Demonte to lock in the support, so they don't get pinched out on that. It's the Alistar.
Yeah, really tanky frontliner here, able to grab that from Fox. It's overall, you know, still super strong. I think most people consider Braum and the side with Tom Kench superior to him, but he is still very powerful. And there we see, of course, the Azir getting locked in before it can get taken away in the second ban phase. It's also one of Keen's best champions, something that a player that is known to be a little erratic in his performance, and Azir is one of the ones that generally gets a more stable performance out of him. So really great to see them grab that, especially when it's super meta.
I always enjoyed Keen's play style. He would have this kind of, you could almost track what Faker played, and then Keen would have a play of it in the LCS at the time, and you kind of figure out what he's going for. But yeah, as you said, wheelhouse picks for him are always good.
Yep, and it's also interesting because he's also known to be a big innovator. Yeah. He had the Hecker in the mid for a while as like a counter to Zed. You're like, what am I watching? I think he's really fun to watch, and in an environment like the Academy League, you know, I feel like you might see him get unleashed a little bit, where he can have a little bit more freedom and experimentation with his picks.
It might not be his Azir. Who knows? No, it is.
That's true.
Nar and Camille in there, and Varus, somebody we haven't seen really much of any today, getting banned out there by FOXA Academy.
Yeah, it's a little surprising that you haven't seen it quite yet. There have been a couple games where there was a fair amount of 80 carry bans. He is still super strong with the utility that he can bring. You know, we saw Xayah preferred over him. Yeah. And that's pretty understandable. Xayah does scale very well with crit builds and not as much focus on lethality down the bot lane. He does work fine with Ginsu's if you're going for that focus, but for the most part, not seeing too much priority here in North American Academy League.
The 80 carry for the side of Fly Academy. Ari looks like he gets to clean that one up and say we'll round out with X bot laner, but now it's the final 2 picks here for FOXA Academy. Looking for that top laner and looking for, not a mid laner, looking for a jungle.
Yeah, it's
far back.
It's pretty surprising to see none taken in the first rotation, something we were seeing a lot of earlier on, but so much of the first ban phase was focused on that, you kind of had the feeling that, all right, well, neither of us are going to get the OPs, quote unquote, so we'll get something else. Yorick lock in.
All right.
Heyo.
All right. Lorem locking in the Yorick. A pretty big nuisance in the top lane. Obviously, can kind of go tit for tat with Ornn in damage and keeping himself in that lane, but it'd be interesting to see how they play the late game with it being not kind of a split push oriented champion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we've seen too much Yorick since the rework, even though it feels like it's been forever ago. I mean, old Yorick was taken to be the most annoying champion ever, and with the changes that came to him, it's not quite the same champion anymore.
And we get the Rek'Sai actually coming in. We wondered where it would go. Actually been seeing quite a bit of Rek'Sai here and there. I say a bit of, not very much.
Yeah, it's clearly dropped down a fair amount. We do see some people still playing it around the world, but usually in situations like this with a lot of bans, there is that Xayah pick we were talking about being pretty popular. And there we go. Both teams locked in. Yorick gonna probably be a little bit of a focus here for us.
I can't wait to see it. You were talking about being annoying. Funny story, or backstory for Yorick. His creator hardly ever played him in the beginning, the guy who made him. He's like, just a Gravedigger with Ghost, it's cool. And he played against him, he's like, I hate the champion I made. And then he played him, and he realized that you could just destroy everyone. He's like, I love the champion I made. That was basically how you feel playing and being a Yorick when you're good at it.
Yeah,
or you're playing against somebody that's good at it.
I'm making your life miserable and I'm winning. And then, you know, 25 minutes hit and you suddenly don't do very much. But hey, you won your lane.
Exactly. Here we are locked in and ready to roll. That is an Ornn for the side of No on the top side there versus a Yorick. And we are onto the rift for game 4 here. FOXA Academy versus FlyQuest Academy. FOXA coming up with a pretty great win yesterday. A little bit of a Baron attempt and lost coming up very big with a quadra kill. Almost penta in that fight. As Papa Chow stole it, actually on the Alistar, so he gets a second play on that. Feeling pretty comfortable.
That was pretty sad to watch because Lost went so ham to get the first 4 kills, flashes over the wall into 3 people, outplays them.
Auto attack.
And then, Alistar just goes for the pulverize and ruins his penta. You know, are you good with skins? Are you one of those good skin knowers?
Yeah, why not? Oh, the names of them? Maybe not.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, what is that Yorick skin? Because it looks cool.
Oh, it'd have to be like a Guardian or something.
Yeah, it's like
one of the
Paladin or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Absolutely.
Looks beautiful.
You want to say like Warden at first, but those are all grayed out and really cool, like Nazguls. We'll see.
In case we need an extra reason to watch Yorick now, we also have the dope skin.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be cool when you're digging graves for people. Let's see what they start off with. And it's going to be an Orthodox one. Both at their blues, sorry, blue and red on the bottom side, respectively, for Odd Orange to start off.
And that, as much as we've been kind of joking about the Ornn Yorick matchup, it's one that I'm interested in seeing how it plays out because in theory, some of this stuff could be pretty annoying for an Ornn, where Yorick puts up that wall and Ornn tries to be out of it. I'm pretty sure that interaction causes Ornn to just stop. So ganks on him might actually be pretty reliable. Where you're forcing his E to do nothing, and then you can kind of follow up pretty easily.
Throw him in the pen.
Yeah, so I'll have to track if that is actually how the interaction works, and then that could make sense why it is seen as a counter. And it's also something that should 1v1 do very well. So that could be a large portion of focus for Fox Academy's early game here. Odd Orange finding a kill, get that Yorick going. You also have the Xayah in the mid lane, who just feels like at any moment, if she lands a couple skills, she instantly blows somebody up. So those are 2 pretty volatile lanes as far as I can see, with the bot lane likely being a lot more stable. Paddle them.
Look at these guys, both donning the golden garb. Actually looks pretty bold, pretty good on both sides.
There you see the AoE of the Bellows not being particularly effective against the Ghost. So once you get all those graves down, you summon them and throw the I don't even know what that is, like a cask of something at them, and marks him for the ghouls to go aggro on them. They leap at him. It's actually not trivial for Ornn to clear those out.
Very true. Just kind of waltz out. We'll see if he actually gets flustered by it. Could change his lane quite a bit if he gives it too much attention. As well as, I think he also has a spell book for himself. He does, starting with Ignite on that top side on Ornn, so he can actually have a bit of kill pressure now against his opponent with the gank.
It'd be interesting to see if it actually pays out that way, or if it would have been better to go with the exhaust.
Very true. We could just keep the fight longer. I mean, Ornn has those cooldowns come up. You just keep bashing someone in the face. Repetitive hits, always good. Quick paddle star clear coming in from Demonte. I wonder if they'll actually give him attention in the early game, because Zoe, a champion that could easily turn around a gank or completely throw you into the void.
Which is where we appear to be right now.
Absolutely.
And I would say Demonte in general is someone who I think is someone you should keep your eye on moving forward in the Challenger series. just because when you look at like who is likely to move up, it's not just how good they are in the Challenger Series, but what's happening on the main roster. And I think Echo Fox is an example where Phoenix is someone that we hadn't seen last season hold this point.
Oh, Papa Chow using the gank to get himself out. Very heady play there. And it is going to possibly be a kill. First blood going over. Very nicely done by Lost, and they are going to not chase the lane. Odd Orange feels good about that one. And it looks like Echo Fox starts off great in the bot lane.
Yeah, FlyQuest Academy getting a little bit too aggressive there. Airy flashing in. Or excuse me, just jumping a little bit too far in. The chain CC comes in from the Alistar and the Rek'Sai. Can't quite get out. Easy kill. Looks like they're still going.
Get Lost going. He's going to feel good about continuing that advantage. And as you said, they are still going. We talked about the Hex Flash earlier. We finally get to see a bit of that now on the Alistar.
Oh, yeah, and it's an interesting proposition because there he traded his flash out for the Xayah's flash. And normally it's like, oh, maybe that's not worth it because Alistar with a flash is such a great setup tool. But he still kind of has a flash here. So in some ways, you trade flashes, but you still have this kind of discount version.
And you can see he just used it, has it up again, but we also see towards the top side, Alorim a little too far forward, and it looks like he's actually gonna get out of this one. Any spikes from Shrimp? No, on cooldown, and he gets out with a sliver of health.
Oh, that was really dangerous there for Alorim, but barely able to stay alive.
See this bot fight one more time as well.
Yep, starts out with them popping onto the support Papa Chow. Nice wraparound, but it actually gave the Papa Chow an angle to get his W out, and then he's able to get the CC down onto JJ as well. A little bit too far forward now that they've chased all the way up the lane. Easy cleanup after Papa Chow was intelligently using his W to get onto Shrimp.
It's a fun name to say.
Papa Chow.
Papa Chow. Not gonna lie. If you thought I was. 3-4. Vision wards now in the inventory of Echo Fox. They look to have a little bit of extra gold, which feels nice early game, and get those permanent vision wards down and cause FlyQuest to have to put themselves out of position and get the clears down. Always like, as a support, to put the ward farthest to the left in the tri-brush, so they have to walk a little deeper. The little things.
Yeah, those small little
tiny
optimizations can add up over the course of the game.
And as somebody on the red side, I placed in the top side of the tri-brush. Challenger status.
Interesting.
Look out! 6 minutes into this one. Not too much action around the board except for what we saw there in the bot lane. Odd Orange actually pushed all the way down to that Rek'Sai as a last pick. Didn't seem to mind. And he still makes a little bit of an advantage at the beginning. No way through the wall. Paddle Star forward from deep! That's going to be a kill on the Shrimp. Disgusting hit from Demonte.
That's a huge play out of him. Hits that even before 6, knows he can get the kill. Has no fear in burning his flash to get that max range Paddle Star onto him. And with that Ignite pickup that he had, knew he had the follow-up damage. Very impressive.
I wonder if Papa Chow could have got in there for like a Aurora or a heal. He could be like, give me assist! Oh, still awesome play. You can just add on the fun stuff. Now they're up and on to Infernal Drake. That was nothing FlyQuest Academy was expecting, so I'm sure they're thrown for a loop here. Can't even react. They're rethinking that situation.
And this is exactly why people are so scared of letting Zoe go through. She lands 1E, and off of that, you get a kill and an Infernal Drake. Good vision control is what really enables this to work. The fact they had that deep ward, just not quite able to jump out in time.
He's like, here, have a bit of extra distance for your Paddle Star.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, it is funny like that because she did actually have 6. She had that to get the extra range in. With the flash alt forward, if he didn't jump away, you wonder if he would have died.
Still that big hit on Wake Up and the Ignite coming through. Spellbook changed out actually as well. Now Flash in there for Demonte. Or actually didn't change. Probably had that as one of his summoners.
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
I'm not sure in the exact order, but I believe he had the Ignite from the pickup.
The W. Yeah.
And now this makes your job as a play-by-play a nightmare because
how exciting.
You don't know if she's picked up that
I was like, wait a minute, no, it's cooldown. That doesn't work yet.
Did she pick it up or did she swap Riv? That is the question now. Whenever
perfect.
She was also running the minion dematerializer. I like that idea, given that you're up against an Azir, who's known as a very push-heavy champion, and having that can allow those kinds of roams where, with your deep vision, you're trying to snipe out the enemy jungler.
We'll see what the next moves are. He is very happy in that mid lane now on Zoe. Pretty fed. 83 to 73 with time to come over here and take blue. Top lane hasn't been really too much of a back or forth. Not too much noise in there as just the Sheen build up. And Easy corrupting potion charges for LRM to stay nice and healthy against this no horn.
And sadly, not as much attention up on that side of the map as I was hoping for.
Yeah.
You know, Auto Orange did a good job of countering gank down the bot lane. Mid's making plays with Zoe, no surprise. We talked about how volatile she could be, and top lane seems mostly to be a farm off, unfortunately. We'll have to see if you know, this leads to a situation where going even is still fine for Yorick in a split push situation. A lot of stuff to look at for how that's going to work.
All right, blue buff transfers keeps the junglers on a bit of the same timer. A little bit of a lead here coming in for Auto Orange with that first start. Lorim, actually both mana at 50% here as they kind of just go for a back and forth. It's fun because there's a situation when they maybe will kill each other here. Getting in there, almost proving me wrong. No, with a few more hits. And he comes up with the kill. Beautiful job on Alarim.
Alarim getting a little bit too far forward there. Wanted to pressure the Orin just a little bit, but enables himself to get knocked up by the ultimate. Has a follow-up. Doesn't even have Ignite anymore. Didn't need it. The Orin finished his off just with the base damages and the items.
I was going to say it'd become one of those lanes where, yeah, you can get taken down to half health, but then you just play well at half health near the turret or something because they're both tanky. But not that time. It's down to low health and no health. And No feels very good about that kill. Frozen Iceborne Gauntlet coming out for him, so he can be even more of a jerk to Ellerim in that top lane.
Yeah, this is a potential problem here because Yorick is not necessarily known as being a strong teamfight champion. Orin is, so despite the advantages that we've seen early on for FOXA Academy, Zoe's still a nightmare. The team fighting team comp on the side of FlyQuest Academy is very, very powerful, and this is something where I don't think you want to worry about getting to 5v5 late game. You want Zoe picking people off. You want your split pushing.
Exactly. Hopefully you can get those pickups if Auto Orange gets the knockups. You can get a few hits from Papa Chow. His flash is back up along with Ghost. So they're actually going for aggressive spells in that bot lane for the moment being as well with that spell book. And we'll see if they can get into an aggressive fight here. Like you said, more of a fight squad for FlyQuest Academy. So just using it to get those picks currently. 2-1, 11 minutes in. Looks like back to the farm for top lane is Alarim kind of knows that damage he's dealing with now and has to be safe.
Right, and like you said, the unsealed spellbook for Alistar works pretty well. You get the combat summoner for lane early on, make sure you don't have to worry about getting all in. And then when he makes it more as a roamer, hold on. Not going for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he know where the target went?
But the Ghost becomes very powerful on the Alistar, able to focus more on finding flanks, very much like we saw in the last game with Hecarim. And with the flash as well, not needing the smite, can make for some very explosive engages at Alistar.
What is the next move? You see Shrimp clearing out that top side of the jungle. Actually hasn't provided as much of the synergy in the mid lane as we really would have expected. I should say we saw. It's up to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this should be the strength of your team here in the jungle and mid, and they've arguably been two of the most abused positions thus far in the game. Keen mostly been stuck under his turret, allowing Demonte to roam and pick off Shrimp. Shrimp's getting countered down the bot lane as well, not working out super well, so a bit of a concern here for FlyQuest. They're going to need to pick it up somehow because now you're going to have to worry about those four-man roam plays on the bot lane or something.
Pretty good damage, good start. That's still a kill potential for No on Ornn though. That's what makes it so scary. And seeing that bot lane, as you just spoke about, Lost and Papa Chow, 130 to 110, 133 in the mid lane to 120. A little bit of an advantage just across the board makes those first fights or chances to go for a pick a little more advantageous. Here we have Keen back, and we'll see what he puts into the inventory as he returns to lane.
Yeah, a lot of backs coming in here for both teams. Bot lanes have completely recalled, getting back on the map now. Keen's going to go back. Demonte seems like he probably just returned to lane. And they finish a Manamune down the bot lane. So Lost has kind of hit a power spike here where he's ready to start accelerating this game. And it coincides pretty well with what happened mid lane, the turret dropping. You can expect a lot of focus down here in the bot lane in the next 5 minutes of the game.
See a quick paddle start coming in from Demonte if he decides to rotate around. Somebody who also had a bit of LCS experience for himself in his time. Hopefully use that here to help out Echo Fox Academy. Papa Chow getting locked up a bit. Alistar, he's fine. Yeah. Got his onesie on.
takes a little bit of damage, has a bunch of relic shield procs ready to go. His passive will pop, and next thing you know, he's back at full HP.
They both do. Those relic shield bot lanes we've been seeing a little bit more of. Get the gold, get the health. Keep yourself in the lane, keep overhealing. Jay pushing up forward to get their procs in as well. We're just waiting for, I believe, first dragon. Picked for it from the side of Echo Fox. Possibly a full-out fight here from FlyQuest.
Right, and despite Echo Fox wanting to go down the bot lane, Xayah does start reaching a point where it is kind of hard for an Ezreal to get the push advantage going. So you see right away, FlyQuest shoving that bot lane, start roaming around, trying to get some wards down the bot side, but Papa Chow's doing just the same.
As well, a good point in the game for any player. I mean, kind of always refresh this of what stopwatches are up, what are you going to fight against, and that's 4 available still for FlyQuest Academy. So if there is a fight, they have a lot of potential to throw Echo Fox for a loop. Good blue take there as they start to deny a few resources, and this is the possibility of the fight that FlyQuest Academy wants. Does the pick come through, however? The sleep misses. It's actually going to get Drowsy over onto Airy. He goes down immediately, and they're able to hold the fight in a position long enough for those shots to start coming through. A double kill coming in now for Demonte as he gets to start setting up the Paddle Stars.
He's definitely put the work in to learn. Zoe gets a monster.
That was disgusting.
AoE one on the back line there, which sets up... hold on.
Hello. Looks like he's going to get away from the minion. Dies just in time and kills across the map.
All right, so this Yorick pick, not quite going according to plan, but the bot and mid side of the map going great for Fox Academy.
Beautiful.
Hopefully getting a look at this fight, and we can see exactly how perfect Demonte played this. Able to get a lot of damage down, sets up a couple of the kills. It allows Lost, who we know is willing to go aggressive, lets him know that he's going to be able to win this fight after what starts a little scary with how they kind of get cut off here by Braum, able to get a really nice backwards ultimate to stop them from wrapping back around to the river. And then that pal will start hitting both members in a second here, where Shrimp and him will get chunked low. Sets up that double kill. Then they're going to keep pushing forwards. A nice ult over the incoming Azir wall to make sure that he can get the 3rd kill of that fight. And then we get this 1v1 in the top lane where, I don't know, apparently Yorick just loses these.
Oh. That's painful.
I think you got the double brittle burst damage there, which can be a little surprising, but you would hope that your counter pick is prepared for that.
He isn't even building that much health, because that's kind of the damage you get out of it, is their health. And he's still just crushing down Alorim. Clears in from Demonte. Nicely done, as you said, on that bottom fight, putting in the work on Zoe and showcasing it very well. Another reason why we also see it on the ban list quite a bit, and will continue to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a champion that is very quickly being like, yep, that was a mistake in the pick ban. But there's still some power points for FlyQuest Academy here. You see rotating up to the top side on the fact that Noah's been winning this matchup pretty aggressively, and now they can take a turret down, get some gold back in their favor after they're already down, 4,500 gold, 5,000 gold almost.
Solo.
Interesting they give it to the Ornn. I guess they want to make sure he keeps having that 1v1 threat.
Going strong. Teleport in his hands for now from his unsealed spellbook. As it looks like it is going to be the Rift Herald coming in from FlyQuest Academy now. Beautiful work. Control on the map. Where did they decide to use it? What would kind of be the biggest advantage here?
I mean, ideally you want to break the mid turret. It's always generally considered the most important turret. Hold on, we got Alorim out of position.
Oh, hello. He throws down the ultimate. Obviously going to give a little trouble over the Fury. Calls down the Feather Storm. The rains on Alorim's parade. What a shot! Takes down Shrimp as he gets a little too close for comfort. Alorim almost alive with the Bellows Breath coming through. Sorry, not Bellows Breath. That's a Braum. JJ gets him with the Winter's Bite. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that was insane.
That was about a half second away from almost being a 1v3 win for Alorim. He had his Corrupting Pot ticking, barely getting him healthy enough. And like you said, Winter's Bite just barely able to finish him off, but he forced the Xayah away from him, killed the Kha'Zix, and then almost turned back onto JJ as well. That was a crazy fight. Taking a look at it.
That's why you never stop fighting.
Yeah, so he lands the E to get the ghouls to focus down onto Airy, forcing him out of the fight. He gets his ult off as well, so while he's stunned, that's still going. And then he's able to get that first kill, and the Corrupting Pot's ticking, gets a little bit of healing from the Q, but just barely able to get it finished off there. If he was a little further ahead, if he had won some of those 1v1s, he might have been able to actually turn that 1v3.
The Featherstorm from Airy actually de-aggroed the minions and sent them right over to Shrimp. Took a bunch of damage to start things off, so in their attempt to escape, it just kept going even worse. Valoran back to bot lane here. You can see No actually just using his passive ability to forge out an item as he's in the bot lane. Now he has that Abyssal Mask and the Gauntlet. Here comes the Forge God, and it knocks up Lost. Gets himself the Arcane Shift as well as his Flash to get into a good position as they start firing back. Not a whole lot of damage to deliver over to No. They're able to kind of consider this fight, figure out what their target is, and right now there isn't one. It's to back up and be okay with that fight.
Yeah, able to get out mostly for free. You do lose the Flash on your AD carry. It's a little unfortunate, but all things considered, that's not too bad. No loses his teleport, and you're able to survive that momentary aggression here. And that whole time, you also have Alworm pushing down the bot side. Not bad at all.
See how these turrets pan out. There always seems to be kind of like an odd positioning in the game when one mid is up, but the top turret or a bottom is somebody's that they're trying to take. You kind of stall out, not wanting to lose your mid, but wanting that top turret.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, FOXA Academy has 2 in the bot lane, none on the top side, trying to focus down to there. Nice poke onto Airy.
This might be the time.
Yeah, no one else is really up here. They don't have great vision control, but they feel confident enough to push forward. You see them not really willing to hit the turret in this situation because they're not 100% certain where everyone is, but you land enough poke like that.
Down to 100 HP exactly, and that is not a fight he wants anymore. No towards the mid lane. They say fight in the top. We know True Shot Barrage is down. Demonte has to go the wrong way home, and actually no hit there for No. That does, however, go to Shrimp as well.
That's one of the weaknesses that you can see of Zoe, her lack of defensive mobility. She's very good when she's the one in control and deciding where things go, but if you find a flank onto her, her ult's not going to do anything to help her.
Nobody's confused anymore by the ult. Before you turn away, be like, oh, she blinks. Be like, wait, she comes back. That's not an escape.
Yeah, she's been in the game long enough now. No one's getting fooled by that move, and so when Orin wraps around on you, you're in deep trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily for FOXA Academy, despite the death of the mid laner, they don't lose their mid turret even when the Herald is dropped, so able to stem the bleeding a little bit there.
Knight's Vow quickly from Odd Orange as well in his Cinderhawk build, looking to protect more of his teammates, possibly on Demonte. Have not seen the link just yet. I see JJ setting up some wards. They actually had quite a good bit of vision in that jungle, which was preventing the top turret from getting taken down, but eventually it falls with the pressure of Lost and Papa Chow on that top side. Back to mid to protect the turret is Demonte.
Yep, they blinded a lot of poke up there, and then the other 3 members of the team showed mid for the kill, so Lost and Papa Chow keep up the pressure to take that top turret. All outers are down now. Baron is alive. Next dragon in 10 seconds, only a Cloud Drake, so not 100% sure what Fox want to prioritize here. Probably just some vision around mid and hope Demonte can land some sleeps and find some pickoffs to their team.
Looks like active, or I should say aggressive summoner spells for Papa Chow are up. You may see that hit for a pick on the side of Demonte. He is currently running the Flash and Ghost as well. Possibility to get into range for these plays. And you can see power in numbers as usual for FlyQuest. Say if you're here, at least I could be there to block the Paddle Star if you're asleep. So dangerous. It's such an aggressive or annoying spell too, because you can see it hit somebody and Morg's black shield them, but you're already too late. You just have to stand in front of it and hope for the best.
Right, I mean, at least with Braum, hopefully he works as a decent counter from the support position to deal with some of the long-range pressure. But, I mean, the scary thing is that because it can come from so far away, you're not always as grouped up as you want to be.
Right.
And like you said, sometimes you're a little late on those shields.
It's good for Braum. He's got the W. He can get in. That's actually one of my favorites if you're playing against the Vayne. You see those 2 marks. W over, shield up, steal the 3rd one, and get a play. We'll see if they can trick Demonte into getting into a scary position, even though he can engage from 5,000 range.
And there you see a ton of vision control up in the top side. Nothing at all on the side of FlyQuest Academy. They're going to have to walk in here, but when they do, there's a face full of poke waiting for them with Ezreal and Zoe.
Slowly moving forward, you can see the lane wards going down, basically where the turrets used to be, kind of giving them a little vision past that. Nice hit onto JJ. Just down to about 60% HP. More of that to come from Demonte with a full mono bar. As they start going top side. Sungdisc goes down as FlyQuest sets themselves up a base here on the top side. No comes out and he throws down the Forge God. He gets a good knockup, but he is in the middle of the fight without any help. FlyQuest now approaching, but is it too late? Is it too little? They're gonna lose their support as well as JJ goes down, and Fox is looking for more. Keen in the position to get taken down. A triple kill coming in, possibly the quadra, as the Paddle Star just short on the side of Keen, and that kill goes over to Odd Orange.
A very hectic fight there as Keen was just slightly too far forward. Both teams collapsed to try and get him out of that situation. It ends up in a perfect situation for Demonte, where both teams are mostly fighting up and down the lane, and then he's offset in the jungle, basically having a perpendicular shooting angle for these abilities so he can land them pretty freely onto priority targets. That's exactly how Zoe wants to be. She doesn't want to be the focus of the fight. She wants to dance around the outside of it. And as a result, Demonte, already kind of fed, picks up 3 more.
That was Keen. And cheeky, even though Keen's in the game. The true shot barrage through Baron to get red buff as well on the other side with a little bit of damage left by Demonte. Great teamwork going on right now. We'll see this fight once again. You said it correctly before. Picks versus fights, and there were many more picks before there was a fight in this one.
Right, and you see, Keen kind of gets out, they focus down, the enemy team's collapsing in, and then Demonte on your screen here is just going to stay on the south side of this fight, and no one's really focusing him. They're all worried about the left side of the fight. He's able to basically 3-hit, and that's kind of how Zoe does it, is just shoots spells off from the side, and no one's body blocking anything. Gets a ton of damage down, and the rest of the team is just really far ahead. So even though Orin ends up in the middle of the team, there's no follow-up really, as Keen had already been disengaged. Papa Chow also had a really nice headbutt, a second headbutt onto Keen to keep him out of the fight.
Big things from the side of Echo Fox. Looks like they will decide to keep York on the top side, keeping those win conditions in order, not saying, oh, we won fight, all 5 mid, all 5 this. That's when you just kind of stall out and start to lose your advantage. Here, they keep it true and actually spread the map into what is a kind of 1-2-1 here, as they're switching around where the 2 and the 2 are in bot and mid.
Well, Shrimp barely gets out there. Very scary to walk into a jungle versus team comp. You see it here. And it's a bit of a dangerous lane setup, just because if they do find an angle onto somebody, you could lose that Baron. But FlyQuest doesn't have the easiest engage available. It's basically on Orange.
Yep.
And, it can be very deadly when you do land that and you get the crazy chain CC combo, but until you actually find that opportunity, it can be hard to find them. So Alarim's getting alone time in the top side. We saw Zoe in the mid lane. Ezreal, notoriously slippery down the bot side.
Turret or death, or turret and death, depending on which way you look at it. It looks like it will be and death here as Lauren goes down, but still getting that global pressure for the team as they're fighting in the mid lane. It takes 2 to take down that 1 in the top, and that's such an advantage for Echo Fox.
Yeah, able to trade up there for Echo Fox. They get the kill in the mid lane for the kill in the top lane and grab the turret with the pressure that they have. Great play thus far, but they only have another minute and a half to break an inhibitor turret. That's really what you want to see off this Baron with how far ahead they are. So instead of recalling out, they're going to stay on the map. They want to keep this pressure up while they have the chance to.
And really, it seems like the best thing that's going against this Ornn now is just something that doesn't go against Ornn. You just farm out, don't fight, be safe. And 2 games in a row now, we've kind of seen that champion that controls a lot of games fall flat.
Yeah, I mean, he showed how dominant, an Ornn can be in lane. He was able to win a lot of 1v1.
Absolutely.
If the rest of your team falls behind him, hey, he's still just a tank. And if your carries are weaker, if you are getting picked off in situations, Ornn, he's not a 2-1-1 split pushing Jax or anything like that, or Cleo.
Yeah. Very true. Whoa, health bars disappearing for JJ. One of the tankier members, but going down like a piece of paper here on the squad, as you saw in that replay. Well, 30 seconds on the clock, and it looks like Echo Fox Academy can just keep doing situations like that, keep aggressing on these hits and initiations, and really come up without losing anything. They have a lot of room to work with in mistake.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, you would have liked to have seen an inhibitor turret go down there, but if you have to wait 3 minutes for the Baron to come back up and you set up vision control that make them face check you again,
Sure.
You know what? That's going to be fun.
Fantastic.
Make them walk into you or pin them in situations where you get to, like we said before, shooting gallery away.
Yeah.
Fish in a barrel, however you want to put it.
Little vision lost here from Echo Fox Academy. Gonna have to be careful if they push up. They're getting all rewarded now. But it would have been a good time for FlyQuest Academy to look for a way in. Always easier said than done in the bird's eye view. Go there, go there. No wards here.
Yeah, it's very nice to be able to see the entire game and not have to actually have Fog of War on. It makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, or deal with this Zoe 100-0ing your team and you pulling your hair out. Right now, Demonte having a great game. Really didn't get too much pressure. Orange was bot lane, found himself going down, but still kept a steady match for the lane so they could do well. Made sure that Lorem didn't fall too far behind. A bit more pressure towards the stairs of the base here for FlyQuest Academy. And that is Alarim on the bot side, just trying to push in. It looks like Zoe will split push top.
And for the most part, FlyQuest doing a good job. Avoid getting chunked out so that they can play more aggressive. Focus on clearing the minion waves. It's going to be hard. Maybe if someone really overextends, you can find a pick off. But for the most part, just don't lose these inhibitor turrets and got to look for a mistake where Fox gets a little too far ahead of themselves.
You have the ability to get quite a bit of crowd control on one person. You get that Glacial Fissure, call the Forge God. Well, there's one of those crowd control abilities. Gets the brittle damage down, about to half health. Almost zeroes out Shrimp with his first few attacks. Flashes over, cannot get the kill right away. Shrimp goes on stopwatch to make sure that goes in his favor, but the map is going complete the other way, an advantage of Echo Fox.
Yeah, once again, FlyQuest do find the pickoff onto Alarim, but at this point he basically seems like a red herring. Distract them, look at me.
Perfect.
I'm a Yorick, kill me, I'm annoying. And the rest of the time, Echo Fox sends forward to the other side of the map and takes down a turret.
Making the distraction game look easy. You're gonna feel good about what you're doing, even if you're going down in the impact inting, if you will. Changing the game here for Echo Fox.
Yeah, hey coach, I did my job. I went 1-5, right? This is what you wanted? I helped.
Got him.
I'm sure the coach would be like, yeah, it would have been great if you had that pressure and some kills.
It does get better. 4-0-5 for loss now on that bot side. Triforce into the Blade of the Rune King with that Murmana finished up. He's already got the Mortal Reminder as well to just continue to cut down the team. Having a good second game here in the Academy League for himself. We see the team protecting him and Demonte to start things off. Looks like they're taking a breather. Orange will back for now.
Yeah, Echo Fox Academy looking great here.
Yeah.
A couple people to keep your eye on over the course of the season. Loss had a great game one, another great game two, and Demonte has basically taken this game over with his play. So a lot of really promising young guys on this team here.
Actually able to take down Clutch Gaming yesterday, who won their game today. So that feels pretty good as they're hitting up the teams that are getting wins in the book already.
Cool.
Gets the sleep over. Oh my, how did that miss? Even if it misses, it hits.
I thought that was the rule.
Very nicely done. Calls the ultimate out on the bot side so Lorem can have a better push on the turret. Demolish, you can see, getting ready to blast through. And they're going to be able to get the damage down here. Again, a 2v1 for Alarim. He goes down, and the team gets a little more.
Key's almost going to drop to the ghoul, though. Doesn't look like it's going to get the finish on him. Almost died, but they're pulling him across the map. They could try to engage mid. That allows Alarim to take top.
That pulls crazy amount of damage here either.
Yeah, I mean, oh.
Whoa! That, if it's not Baron, they have a crazy amount of damage. Because that made me look like a liar. Spirit Call of the Forge God goes in, goes out. Not too much play on that one as they were looking to get a double up from what No was doing. Instantly, Airy goes down. Feather Storm is still up. And a double kill coming in for Demonte. The damage is just way too explosive.
Yeah, once again, Demonte finds his skill shots onto Airy there. Pops him despite two people kind of being in the way in the middle of an Alistar pop-up. Ends up going down, and FlyQuest is just struggling to keep up with anything that Echo Fox is looking to do. They're panicking, trying to get down to the bot lane. They're trying to get back up to the Baron. People are getting picked off all over the place, and this looks like it's going to be the end of the game pretty soon.
The Baroned up minions flying through, helping them take down everything they need to turn the base into shambles. An inhibitor on the bot side is one of the only things left. And again, it's Alarim hanging out, trying to do what he can and help the team. We'll see what they can do to continue this fight all the way through. Orange getting himself to the backside to continue the crowd control and keep the kills coming. He picks that one up for himself onto Shrimp. And now JJ says, I got the crowd control, but we still don't have damage. And it looks like Echo Fox realizes that. Another kill comes in. That goes down into JJ as they look to put the finishing touches on the Nexus. Echo Fox looks to put a second win under their belt, and they secure it.
Great team performance there out of Echo Fox. Demonte showing exactly why Zoe should be banned, finding pickoffs all over the map. Pretty disgusting. And once that gets broken open, you see how aggressive Lost can play there, basically flashing constantly into the enemy team.
I think that's what we saw Demonte do, is basically put that game to sleep. He was all over the place, getting a little bit of help here, a little bit of help for himself there. The first kill we saw him get onto Shrimp, disgusting, and it was just because a little bit of vision. That's all you need to get Zoe started, is a little bit of vision and a 1v1 she can have.
Absolutely, and I think the thing that was most impressive was when the game got more skirmish and team fight focus, he was still very effective with Zoe, where sometimes it can be difficult. And yes, he's playing from ahead, and I understand that, but you know, he found the right angles constantly in fights to snipe out important key targets in a fight, and that can be difficult to do with that champion.
And it's hard to kind of get a hold of a team like that. Yeah, you had soldiers everywhere trying to help. They had the fight squad on the other side, but having an Ezreal hopping around, having a Zoe hopping around, staying in the backline, as you said, what's your target? Where do you go? It's so hard, and we always saw a Featherstorm defensively used on the other side to try and get Xayah to safety.
And the whole time, Alarim, in the meantime, is running around, and they're constantly focusing on him.
What is this, Yoris pick? Oh, that's the Yorick pick.
I mean, to talk about it a little bit,
sure.
I'm all right with the idea of trying to use this as a time to find counters, because this is something that you can potentially, you know, talk with your main team about, like, hey, Orin's really annoying, but I think I found a counter that destroys him. And it's a little bit of a public test environment where everyone can watch and see how this Yorick counter pick worked. And it didn't look great, but, you know, maybe there's something there and you can learn from it.
Absolutely. Let's get back into the replays, I should say. Fox pulled ahead with an ace in the top lane, plus Baron. This was just at 23-30. And a lot of these games, I think, for teams are unexpectedly ramping up very fast at this point.
Absolutely. People can close games out very quickly if they're being decisive about it. Here, Keen gets headbutt out of the fight right when he tries to get involved. It's zoning away the back line. Demonte shows up from the side, snipes out Shrimp right away, is able to focus down JJ. And once the front line has been taken care of, as No had been kind of dealing with the entire team of Echo Fox, it's all too easy to get that chase. Demonte continues to blow people up.
I didn't see she actually got slept in the air. That spell cares not what you're doing at all.
Nope.
You could probably be dead and it'd still sleep you.
Yeah, sleeping trumps death or stunned or anything. You're going to sleep.
It is. We figured it out here today. Another replay, Fox. Oh, actually, we just did that replay. Looking at what else was in the game, Echo Fox playing very strong from yesterday to Clutch Gaming to today. What is that focus? What stops them, or not stops them? What do you focus to kind of put a slowdown to their action?
Well, I mean, obviously the Zoe pick is one thing you can look to say, I don't think I want to give that to him again. He's proved he plays it very well. He'll probably see this banned against him for the future of the Academy League until something changes. And that's good to see if you're either Echo Fox or another org interested in him. Good performances on meta champions is great to see. And, you know, it's only week 1, so it's hard to say exactly how you're going to stop Demonte, but good first bullet point on that plan is, you know, get rid of Zoe.
Absolutely. And how are we actually kind of feeling about, no, I can't remember who they
FlyQuest.
FlyQuest, thank you. Fly and Fox, couldn't get it out of my head.
All the
how they did, how they kind of organized themselves throughout this game, and what kind of were the positive factors for them?
I mean, you could definitely see that the bot lane and top had things going on. That's good to see, given that they are the kind of newer portions, and it was a fairly stable game for both of them. Maybe a little over-aggressive down the bot side on one gank setup, but that's fine. It's just a little disappointing to see that the people who felt like they were having the hardest time were what's supposed to be your veterans. But like we said, this is, you know, it's a game where you left Zoe up and she popped off. It's a little hard to read too far into it.
No, it's absolutely true. You can kind of point to that and be like, okay, we can work at this next time.
Yeah, there's not too many mid laners where it's like, I was doing my Gromp and she killed me across the screen. You know, it's hard to learn, you know, a large experience for that.
Leave it up for the next in the best of 3. It's okay. I got this. So we've got one more game coming up. After the break, the Academy squads of CLG and Cloud9 will face off. Don't go anywhere. Papa Chow using the gank to